Hi everyone, this is Tanya from Flying Dog Studio. Thanks so much for joining me. In this video, we're going to be opening my box from the Goulet Pen Company. And if you don't know Goulet, I'm going to link that down below. But what I have purchased in here is the Lamy Safari Fountain Pen. And this is the first time I'm opening it. You can see there's an insert there, and I'll show this up again a little bit closer in case you want to take a picture of the front of that with your phone so you can take a look at it. I purchased the insert for this. Now this pen comes with actually the pen cartridges. It comes with one pen cartridge, but I bought the converter because I wanted to use my own ink. So this is the little pamphlet that they put in there to show you how to change that out. Now they have a bunch of stuff stuffed in here, and I'm kind of awkward at opening boxes, I'm not gonna lie. I know the packing slip is in there, and I'm trying to be very private about my address, so excuse me for the awkwardness. They put a little sticker in there, and I was so excited about that cute little sticker. I love dragons, and they have a cute little sticker in this box, so that was precious. And the pen is in there somewhere. As you can see, they pack it super well, and there is the pen. And the converter is in there, and there's another little gift down in the bottom, which I thought was really sweet of them to put some gifts in there. But it takes me just a second here, and then I'll bring those over. And there we go. That's what was left in the box. That's the converter, and they have a little Tootsie Pop, and that one was red. So it's always exciting, even as an adult, to get candy in your packages. So that's what we had. All of that came in the box. The first thing I'm going to do here is open this converter. Now, if you want to purchase your own ink and you have a pen like the Lamy Safari that can do a converter, then that is a good option. This has just a little plunger that you screw down at the top, just like that, and it'll allow you to draw the ink up into the pen. And this is the pen box. It's kind of a cool looking box. It has the little slits on the side so you can see what's in the box. And I just got the black pen. I can't remember if this was, it was black. That's all I remember. I can't remember it was the carbon black or the gray black or the steel black. I think it was called steel black. I think that's the one that I got. So inside the box, we have the pen. It's clipped to a little insert. And also inside the box, this is their warranty. And they actually have a 2-year warranty for these Lamy pens. So I thought that was pretty cool. You can see if you want to freeze the screen, you can see some information there. Now this pen was only, I think, about 30 bucks. So this is not a super expensive pen. If you have watched any of my videos where I've been inking lately, you know that I have been using my husband's older pen that was a Parker pen. So I wanted to get one so I could have 2 pens with ink in them at all times. And this is what it looks like up close. I really love the dark nib. I think that is so cool. I got the extra fine nib. You can purchase extra nibs for these. And as you see, it comes with a blue ink cartridge that's already in there. And then that is where the converter will go. So if you don't want to use the cartridges, you can purchase cartridges or you can purchase bottle ink. Now I already have some ink, and we'll talk about this in detail later on in the video. That is Dr. P.H. Martin's Black India ink. Now this little thing that I'm pulling off there, that is just a spacer to keep the cap from screwing all the way down, because one way you can install those cartridges is to put them in and then screw the cap or the back part all the way down, and it just pops them into place. So they put it in there for storage, for shipping, and they put that little spacer in there to keep that ink from, you know, going all the way down into the pen, because you don't want the pen to travel with ink in it like that, to have the cartridge in it. If it were to be on a plane, depending on how, you know, it might not go ground, they may put it on one of those FedEx planes and it could actually explode. Now this one is the one that I've been using. That's my husband's, and it has inside of it a bladder where you can, it's kind of like the little converter there. I have a problem with this pen because I'm very bad about when I'm writing, I like readjust my pen. I'll take a break and readjust my pen. But this pen, as you can see, it's round on one side, and then it has two flat spaces right there for your thumb and your forefinger to kind of keep you lined up, because with a fountain pen, you have to keep it lined up a certain way or it's not going to write for you. So I had a lot of trouble with my husband's pen in that aspect. And so I thought, well, I will use his just for everyday writing, and then I will use this one for drawing so that my videos will go a little more smoothly. Maybe that will help me to hold it all together. And again, I love the little sticker. So these are all the things that you get in the box. So now we just need to ink it with the converter. So when you get your pen and it has that blue cartridge in there, and there you go. If you want to scan that right there on your screen, that will tell you a little bit more about the company. So when you get it, you're going to have that blue cartridge in there. Now, the blue cartridge has not been punctured, but what they do at the company before they send it to you is they test it with blue ink. And even though that's not the ink they test it with, they do put that in there. So it has blue ink inside that nib and inside the bottom part of the pen. So I want to clean that out, and it's always a good idea to clean these pens out. And even if you plan on using just the cartridges and not loading it with your own ink, it would be a good idea to get one of these little converters. You can see I'm snapping it in. It had those two little points at the side and they fit in the grooves, and that helps you to snap it into the right place. It helps it just to guide right down in there. So it would help if you got one of these just so you can always clean the nib on your pen. It's very handy. So I just have some water, and I'm going to twist that little plunger down and then twist it up to pull some water up in there. Now if the pen is clean, that's going to be clear water, but as you can see, there's where they tested it. That is blue ink water in there. So I'm just going to do this several times. So I twist it back out. And the first time you use one of these little converters, if you're trying to bring ink or water up in there, it won't bring it all the way up the first time. You have to see, this time it brought it all the way up. You have to do it a couple of times because it has to fill the bottom of the pen. So don't be alarmed if you get one of these and it doesn't pull the ink all the way up the first time. That's normal. You can see there's some blue ink in my water down there. And it was really tight, so I switched hands there. I thought maybe sometimes my left hand is stronger than my right. I thought it might be easier to kind of do it with the other hand. But just a couple of times. Now the water, it's pretty clear, so I think we're good on this. And I'm just going to get all of that out of there and put everything to the side. But we do, and when I wipe this over the end, you can see there was blue right in the tip. Now I'm going to go ahead and take that nib off of there because these nibs are actually interchangeable. The only thing you need for that is just some Scotch tape, and this was actually super sticky, a little stickier than I wanted it to be, but you put it over the end and just give it a tug straight out and it pulls that nib right off. Now on top of that there will be ink, so I'm going to wipe these down very, very gently. If you're doing this, see, we just want to get all of that out of there. It's not a big deal if we don't get all of it off because I'm putting black ink in the pen, so I can just keep writing with it on a scrap piece of paper until I get all of the blue out of there. But it's always good to periodically take your pens apart and clean them. So I'm just peeling that. Like I said, that was super sticky. I'm going to very gently clean inside of this nib. And as I said earlier, you can get, this is an extra fine nib. You can get extra fine, fine, medium. Okay, I wanted to show you this. Bringing it up closer. There's like a little groove on either side, and those little rounded edges, you just slide it right on and push it on in, if you've watched any of my other videos, you know everything's a struggle for me. So I'm struggling here, but I'm going to get it. I never give up. So we're going to get that in there. Okay, it's nice and tight in there. So we don't need the water anymore. And everything is nice and clean. Now it's time to ink this pen. And as I said, I'm using the .ph Martin. This is the Bombay black ink. This ink is going to be a big mistake. And I'm actually going to do a second video to show you how we overcome this. Okay, whenever you're filling a pen, that little hole that's in there, you want to make sure you go all the way up to the little grip. And it's going to get ink on your grip, but that's okay because you want to make sure that little hole is completely submerged. So I've completely submerged it. I'm twisting the ink up in there, and there you go. It's completely full of ink. Now, one thing I really like about these Lamy pens is that if you noticed in the handle part of it, it has like a little oval. There's the cute little flower thing my daughter made. I thought that belonged perfectly on that ink. Just clean your handle off, by the way. Just clean that little gripper off. That's all you have to do. And that's one reason I bought the black one. They have beautiful colors in these, but this is why I bought the black one, because I knew that I would just have ink all over the place, and I did. But you can see that has... Now we're not going to put that back on. We're just going to leave that off. That has the little oval hole there, which allows you to see that you have ink in your pen right there. So you're going to know when it starts to run out. So that is an awesome thing. So now we're ready to write. And here we go. The very first time I actually did pretty well. I only got ink on one hand. The very first time using this pen, after I have inked it, will it write? And it absolutely does. Look at that. It's awesome. I really did like this pen. And I do recommend the Goulet Pen Company. That is where I purchased this pen. They have a wide variety from prices to different styles. If you want ballpoint, if you want fountain pens, they have those there. So again, I'm going to link that below so you can check them out. Now, second day. The pen has sat for 24 hours, and I wanted to use it, but let's take a look at what it did. I was very disappointed. It's not working. It's not writing. It was very sad to not be able to use that immediately because I had some things planned. But what the problem is with the pen is the ink. That ink is a highly pigmented ink, and I did not realize that. It says on the bottle that it has pigments, but I mean, all ink has pigments, but some ink is highly pigmented, especially waterproof ink, and this is a waterproof ink. You can get waterproof ink that is not highly pigmented, and that's what you need for these pens. You can see I had used it earlier in the day and it was fine. I did that whole grid. That's for another upcoming piece that I'm going to be working on, some supplies I'm going to be trying. But that ink is highly pigmented, and you really have to read the side of the bottle. I actually went online to the website and read about it. This pen had that ink in there and had stopped writing, and I kind of thought it was the pen, but it wasn't. It was the ink. So I took it completely apart and cleaned it, and that's where everything is drying. So I'm going to try it again here. I don't like to give up on things, but this was extremely, extremely sad and disappointing. But what I decided to do was to purchase some more ink, and I did a little bit of research on it, and I found some ink from the Goulet Pen Company that I think is going to be good. It actually came in today. I have not re-inked this pen yet. You can see I was trying this on Sunday, November 17th, 2024. And it would write for a little bit and then it would quit. So those pigments are like, I think, super sticky in there, and they just clog that up. And with heavily pigmented ink, you are, from what I understand, you are supposed to clean your pen and do it like once a week, but I think this would have to be daily. So anyway, hang in there because I am actually going to do this again. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.